UAE pledges five-fold trade rate with Malaysia. Compound for violating MCO increased to 10,000 ringgit. Hello, good evening. I'm Carlos and welcome to News at 10. In an unprecedented move, the United Arab Emirates confirms the sky is the limit for its cooperation with Malaysia. Prime Minister Tan Sri Yassin said this was conveyed to him by Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, who is also Deputy Supreme Commander of the UAE Armed Forces, during their meeting in Abu Dhabi. In addition, Tan Sri Muhyiddin said the bilateral trade between both nations is set to be increased five-fold in value from the current $3 billion. According to the Prime Minister, UAE also wished to increase its investment in Malaysia, which is amounting to $1.6 billion at the moment. During the meeting, he also shared with Sheikh Mohammed his plan to implement digital education for all 6 million Malaysian students.
Untuk membekalkan alat peranti bagi 6 juta ni jumlah yang besar. Jadi saya telah menjelaskan pada Crown Prince Muhammad bahawa inilah perancangan saya supaya rakyat anak-anak Malaysia ni dapat belajar secara cara yang lebih baik dengan menggunakan teknologi maklumat. Lantas dengan belum selesai kita cakap tidak sambut done. Kalau dalam bahasa Melayu itu apa makna? Selesai. Beres. Tanggung beres. Jadi bila dia berkata begitu, maka saya rasa cukup istimewa dan lega yang berkemungkinan besar bahawa apa yang saya fikir dan bincang peringkat awal di Malaysia bersama Menteri Pendidikan dan Menteri Keuangan, bagaimana cara kita nak roll out program sebegini, cuma sebagai cadangan awal saja, hampir-hampir menjadi kenyataan.
Meanwhile, Tan Sri Muhyiddin said the increase of trade and investment from UAE in Malaysia will certainly benefit the country and Malaysians through the creation of more business and job opportunities. He said he would probably form a committee or task force in ensuring the implementation of the outcome of the meeting. On another matter, Tan Sri Muhyiddin said both countries also agreed to establish food security diplomacy cooperation in ensuring enough food supply in the event of any untoward crisis in the future. In view of this, the premiers said there will be a food security hub in Kuala Lumpur and Abu Dhabi, respectively, and the initiative would encourage the development of the food industry in Malaysia. A memorandum of understanding and MOU on the establishment of food security diplomacy cooperation between the two countries was also inked during the visit. Two other MOUs were also sealed concerning the establishment of UAE's founding father, Sheikh Zayed Al Nahyan Chair at the Institute of Strategic and International Studies, ISIS, as well as on cooperation in the field of training of diplomats. Tan Sri Muhyiddin later departed to Malaysia at 10:20 a.m. local time from the Presidential Terminal, Abu Dhabi International Airport. Lembaga Tabung Haji TH is waiting for an official statement from the Saudi Arabian government on the additional Hajj quota, which is expected to be issued around April. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Religious Affairs, Dr. Zulkifli Muhammad Al-Bakri, said the timing is appropriate as the Saudi government is looking into various aspects, including health and security. Dr. Zulkifli said in the meantime, TH would make the necessary preparation for Hajj pilgrims before they depart for the Holy Land.
Kalau kita kira bulan Syawal tu dipanggil musim haji dah. Jadi kalau bulan Syawal tu musim haji, biasanya jarang orang akan masa dengan jumlah yang ramai untuk nak settle. Biasanya macam tu. Walau macam mana pun kita tunggulah. Kita tunggu mereka mengambil perkiraan yang amat banyak melihat dari segi terutamanya kesihatan, keamanan, keselamatan yang menjadi agenda utama untuk maslahat, bukan sekadar tempat tapi jemaah haji itu sendiri.
It was reported that the Saudi Arabian government has agreed to give Malaysia an additional 10,000 places under the latter's Hajj quota when the Hajj situation returns to normalcy after the COVID-19 pandemic. Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin secured the additional quota during his meeting with the Saudi Arabian Crown Prince, Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud in Riyadh on Tuesday.
Well, meanwhile, an internal discussion will be held tomorrow to address the Kuala Lumpur High Court's decision, which allows Christians to use the word Allah in their religious publications for educational purposes. Dato Sri Zulkifli said the meeting will involve the Malaysia Department of Islamic Development, JAKIM, and the Federal Territories Mufti's Office.
Pencahayaan dalaman dahulu, lepas pada tu kita tengoklah yang terbaik. Saya kena tengok dari segi semua aspek lah. Dari segi undang-undang, dari segi agama kita, dari segi pandangan-pandangan terdahulu dan mutaakhir, semua tu kita akan tengok.
He said this after handing over laptops to Asnaf students from University Teknologi Malaysia UTM Perak at Dewan Besar Tabung Haji in Ipoh today. Yesterday, the High Court had ruled that the use of words Allah and other prohibited words such as Baitullah, Kaabah and Salat are allowed to be used by the non-Muslims in their community for teaching purposes.
The compound for violating the Standard Operating Procedures, or SOPs, of the Movement Control Order MCO has been increased from 1,000 ringgit to 10,000 ringgit starting today. Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Abdul Hamid Badur said the Emergency for Prevention and Control of Infectious Diseases for the Amendment Ordinance 2021 was gazetted beginning 12:01 a.m. today.
Tan Sri Abdul Hamid said the decision to increase the value of the compound, however, was not to punish the public excessively or allow the government to collect money from them.
Semangatnya adalah semata-mata untuk menyedarkan orang ramai bahawa virus ini masih berada di mana-mana. Sekiranya kita lupa, sekiranya PKP yang telah dikenakan sejak sebulan yang lalu tidak dipatuhi, maka pada bila-bila masa keadaan akan berubah kepada jauh lebih buruk daripada yang telah kita lalui. Dan perlu diingat, ya, pegawai polis tidak diberikan kuasa untuk nak mengenakan seseorang itu sama ada RM10,000 ke, RM5,000 ke, RM3,000 ke, tidak ada kuasa itu diberikan kepada mana-mana pegawai polis di Raja Malaysia. So dalam notis tersebut akan ditulis RM10,000.
However, Tan Sri Abdul Hamid said repeat or heavy offenders are warranted to be fined with maximum amount as lessons to others as well as protecting public's health and security.
Well, Tan Sri Abdul Hamid also announced that nationwide roadblocks will be tightened following the permission of inter-districts travel and tourism between states under the Recovery Movement Control Order RMCO. Well, he also reminded police personnel that were put on duty for the roadblocks to stay focused on their task.
Saya telah pun mengarahkan dengan tegasnya kepada semua pesuruhjaya polis dan CPO Sabah, Sarawak dan seluruh Semenanjung untuk mengetatkan lagi kawalan-kawalan di sekatan jalan raya di mana pemeriksaan akan dibuat dengan lebih gigih lagi, ya. Saya telah mengarahkan supaya setiap petugas-petugas di roadblock tersebut tidak ada ruang rehat. Apa yang berlaku saya dapati ialah terdapat mereka yang duduk di bawah kemah-kemah dan daripada kerusi di bawah kemah tersebut membuat lambaian. Jalanlah. Ini yang berlaku.
Tan Sri Abdul Hamid, however, expressed his gratitude for those who stay committed to their duty despite multiple challenges, including the weather factor.
Malaysia recorded 1,647 new cases of COVID-19 with 9 fatalities today. And according to Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah, 2,104 people have also recovered, with active cases dropping to 17,544. Well, it said another 9 people have succumbed to the disease, raising the death toll to 1,200. In a statement on the development of COVID-19, he said Selangor was still reporting the highest number of daily infections with 712 cases, followed by Johor, 170 cases, and Penang, 169 cases. Meanwhile, 147 cases are being treated at intensive care units or ICUs, with 61 patients requiring respiratory assistance. Chancellor Dr. Noor Hisham said the 9 deaths recorded today were all locals, with 4 cases in Selangor, 2 in Johor, and 1 case each in Perak, Kelantan, and Kuala Lumpur. Meanwhile, he said 5 new clusters were identified, with 3 clusters related to the workplace and 1 cluster each in the community and detention centre. Coming up next, Pulau Pinang cops seize 2.9 million ringgit worth of drugs in factory raid. Well, a total of 322,177 employers and 2.64 million employees had benefited from the Wage Subsidy Program, or PSU, under the Prihatin and Penjana economy stimulus packages as of 26 February. And Finance Minister Tengku Datuk Sri Zafrul Tengku Abdulaziz said so far 12.769 billion ringgit had been approved under the initiative.
Commenting further, Tengku Datuk Sri Zafrul said that for PSU 2.0, 808.31 million ringgit had been channeled to 66,591 employers to sustain their operation and maintain jobs for 554,876 employees.
Program insentif pengambilan pekerja dan bantuan latihan. Setakat 26 Februari, seramai 131,568 pekerja telah berjaya mendapatkan pekerjaan melalui program ini, berbanding 130,328 pada minggu lepas. Penambahan 1,240 pekerjaan dalam tempoh seminggu mungkin bunyinya tidak besar, namun sikit-sikit lama-lama jadi bukit, insyaAllah. Antara industri dan sektor utama yang mengambil pekerja termasuk pembuatan serta perdagangan borong dan mujid.
The Finance Minister also said the government has approved 6,973 applications with a total loan value of 1.315 billion ringgit under the National Economic Recovery Plan Penjana Small and Medium Enterprise SME Financing Scheme last week. Meanwhile, for the Penjana microcredit financing, a total of 391.9 million ringgit had been channeled as of 26 February, benefiting some 11,708 micro SMEs.
Well, selling raw water according to its quality grade will help state governments generate better income from the sale. Environment and Water Minister Datuk Sri Tuan Ibrahim Tuan Man said currently raw water is sold between states at an average price and not according to its quality grade.
Grade air mentah ni, grade air mentah kita ni pakai satu grade sekarang ni, satu harga. Jadi yang kita cadangkan supaya negeri-negeri dia dapat hasil yang banyak sebenarnya daripada air kalau dia jaga sumber air tersebut. Air mentah ni mungkin kalau air mentah kategori 1, kelas 1, kita ada 4 grade lah ya. Ini cadangan kita. Grade 1 ni boleh jual dengan harga yang sangat mahal. Pasal apa? Sebab kos rawatannya akan lebih murah.
Speaking to reporters after a ceremony held in conjunction with the 1-year anniversary of his ministership, Datuk Sri Tuan Ibrahim said in addition to being a useful source of income for the state, the environment will also be preserved. The minister said the ministry has engaged with state governments of Kedah, Kelantan, Pahang and Johor and have received positive feedback on the proposed raw water grading system. Right now, he said without the grading system, states that take care of their raw water will only earn the same revenue earned by other states that do not.
DAP Secretary General Lim Guan Eng was present at the Timur Laut District Police Headquarters in Georgetown today to record his statement over the Pakatan Harapan Presidential Council's joint statement issued on 12 June regarding the current state of emergency. Accompanied by lawyer RSN Raya, the former finance minister arrived at the police headquarters at about 11:25 a.m. and left about an hour later. And speaking to reporters when met at the police headquarters, Raya said Lim, who is also the Bagai Kembangan MP had given his statement and provided full cooperation to police officers from the Bukit Aman Classified Criminal Investigations Unit. Bukit Aman confirmed that they had opened an investigation paper on the joint statement, allegedly questioning the decision of Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin to propose a proclamation of emergency nationwide to curb the spread of COVID-19. And other parties involved in the joint statement are PKR President Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim and Parti Amanah Negara President Muhammad Sabu. The police had recorded Dato' Sri Anwar's statement at the PKR headquarters in Kuala Lumpur on 26 February, while Muhammad Sabu is expected to have his statement recorded tomorrow. Well, police cripple a drug syndicate and seize 2.9 million ringgit worth of drugs with the arrest of 4 people at a factory in Bukit Mercajam, Pulau Pinang on Monday. And Seberang Perai Tengah District Police Chief ACP Shafi Abdul Samad said police found the paper processing factory had been transformed into a drug processing lab during the raid at 7:30 p.m. on Monday. And briefing reporters today, he said during the operation, police detained 4 local men and seized drugs believed to be shabu worth 2.9 million ringgit. ACP Shafi said during the raid, police seized several liquid chemicals and drug processing equipment believed to be used by the syndicate. ACP Shafi said drugs that were confiscated included 66 kilograms of shabu, 35 containers containing 885 liters of liquid chemicals and 37 liters of liquid shabu that can produce about 14.8 kilograms of shabu crystals. Now, police also confiscated 3 vehicles worth 230,000 ringgit, a gold necklace worth 1,000 ringgit, and 1,150 ringgit in cash. He said police also seized 3 bank accounts believed to belong to the syndicate containing over 49,000 ringgit. ACP Shafi'i said the syndicate is believed to have been active since August last year, and the drugs are believed to be for local distribution. He said the suspects, aged from 38 to 49 years old, have been remanded for 7 days until 15 March. The case is being investigated under Section 39B of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952 for drug trafficking. And a drug smuggling syndicate masterminded by a Taiwanese was busted during a special operation conducted by Bukit Aman Narcotic Criminal Investigation Department, or NCID, on 8th March in the Klang Valley areas. Drugs weighed around 96.1 kilograms were confiscated along with the arrests of 12 individuals.
According to Bukit Aman NCID Director Dato' Razarudin Hussain, the syndicate used courier services to deliver religious instruments, which was instead a cover for drugs.
Ini adalah satu operasi yang kita anggap sangat berjaya, yang mana dadah-dadah ini bukan sahaja dihantar ke Indonesia. Dadah-dadah ini telah pun dihantar ke New Zealand, Korea Selatan dan juga Taiwan. Dan kita telah pun bekerjasama dengan counterpart kita yang ada di Malaysia untuk memaklumkan bahawa kotak-kotak yang dihantar ataupun consignment yang telah dihantar bermula daripada bulan November tahun lepas 2020 sehinggalah pada 6 hari bulan. Tetapi pada 6 hari bulan itu kita telah dapat 10 kotak yang tidak dapat dihantar ke negara Indonesia.
12 individuals, including a local woman aged between 18 to 35 years old, were arrested. Police also confiscated various assets such as cash, vehicles, gold ring and necklace, along with chemical substances and apparatus for processing drugs. The suspects are currently being remanded until 14th of March to assist with the investigation. The case is being investigated under Section 39B of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952. Sports, possibility of earlier return of fans to stadiums.
Youth and Sports Minister Dato' Sri Rizal Nine American does not rule out the possibility of an earlier return of fans to stadiums to watch Malaysia League or M-League matches this season based on the good work being carried out by various parties. Well, it said that for now, the Malaysian Football League or MFL only need to work out the sports management protocol so that it does not violate the standard operating procedure, the SOP, of the Movement Control Order, the MCO.
So saya fikir ini perlu diperincikan. Bukan mudah kita nak bawa, tapi pada waktu sama kita nak pastikan ia tak melanggar perintah-perintah PKP yang sedia ada.
He said this to reporters after launching the sports industry financing scheme today. Last week, at the launch of the 2021 M-League campaign, Dato' Sri Rizal gave an assurance that the application for fans to be present in stadiums would be made 2 months after the start of the M-League, which is based on the sports bubble concept. The M-League, involving the Super League and Premier League, kicked off on 5th March. Well, Perak FC, the 2018 Malaysia Cup winners, scored a goal in each half to down Sri Pahang FC 2-0 in the Super League at the Darul Makmur Stadium in Kuantan last night. Now, the win allowed the Bosgoro side to climb up to third spot in the standings with 4 points, having drawn 0-0 with PJ City FC in their opening match last week. Midfielder Jay Partiman put Perak FC ahead in the 43rd minute when his right-footed shot beat Sri Pahang FC goalkeeper Muhammad Helmi Elias. Muhammad Helmi was at fault again for Perak FC's second goal when he rushed out of the penalty box and was beaten to the ball by Muhammad Farhan Roslan, who coolly slotted home. The visitors could have scored more goals if not for Perak striker Huel Herme Dispala's poor decision-making and selfishness in front of goal. Former East Coast giants Pahang, who lost their first match 3-1 to Selangor last week, seemed listless and erratic. The win came as a relief for Chong Yi-Fat, who was appointed as Perak coach 2 weeks ago. It was his first 3 points after the scoreless draw with PJ City in their season opener last week. At the Petaling Jaya City Council Stadium, Petaling Jaya City FC or PJ City FC and Malacca United FC played out a thrilling 2-2 draw. Malacca United FC took a 55th minute lead through an S. Kumaran header before Darren Look let fly a cracker to equalise for PJ City FC in the 70th minute. Darren then made it 2-1 in the 86th minute from the penalty spot, and his team looked set to clinch all 3 points. However, Mohammad Faris Shah Mohammad Rosli had other ideas and salvaged a point for Malacca United FC with a late equaliser. Meanwhile, Kuala Lumpur FC edged UiTM 1-0 at the KLFA Stadium to bounce back from their opening 1-0 defeat by Pulau Pinang last week. Striker Dominic Da Silva scored the winner for the City Boys in the 14th minute in a drab match. Both sides remain aggressive in the second half, however, the scoreline remained in favour of Kuala Lumpur FC with the only goal of the match. Well, that's it from us this evening. In our top story, UAE pledges 5-fold trade raid with Malaysia. Join us for updates at noon at 12:30 tomorrow. I'm Mohammed Amin Carlos. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.